If you're a part of hustle culture, you know that creativity is one of the first things to go. Real creativity requires a nervous system that has space to wander, has space to explore, make unexpected connections. It requires the kind of thinking that can only happen when you're not in survival mode. And hustle culture doesn't allow wandering for wandering's sake, getting lost for the journey. It's about efficiency, productivity, and squeezing every drop out of the day. It celebrates focus that narrows down to immediate deadlines, outputs, valuing speed over depth. But depth is where creativity lives. Creativity happens in the space between tasks, not in the crunch of execution. It happens when your mind can relax and make unexpected connections. It happens in rest. It happens in play, in moments of pleasure, moments of ease. And the irony is that hustle culture is trying to optimize for productivity and growth, but actually, it needs that creativity that it's actually destroying for actual productivity and growth. And hustle culture is based on fear, fear of failure, fear of being left behind, fear of not being enough. And fear mobilizes people in the short term, forces action, it creates urgency. Why do we want people scared all the time? Because they're more compliant. But soapbox for another day. It's not sustainable though. Fear exhausts the nervous system. Chronic fear depletes you physically, emotionally, mentally. Dopamine-driven motivation is different. It pulls you towards something, towards the work itself, towards the satisfaction of solving a problem, towards the pleasure of creating. Fear-based motivation requires constant external pressure to maintain it. You always need the threat of failure, the threat of, somebody else pushing you to do something to stay motivated. But positive dopamine-based motivation is self-sustaining. You want to do the work because the work itself feels good. And you don't need that external pressure. It's internal motivation. Okay, so if pleasure is the neurochemical foundation of real productivity, why has hustle culture worked so hard to eliminate it? Other than the compliance thing. And part of it is that pleasure is harder to monetize. Fear is easy to market. You'll fail if you don't do this. You're behind and you need to catch up. Everyone else is working harder than you. These are easy messages to sell. And I think that at one point or another, we've all kind of fallen for them in one way, shape, or form. Pleasure, though, as a business driver, is harder to sell because it sounds indulgent, it sounds soft, it sounds weak. The hustle culture has actively suppressed pleasure in favor of fear. And in doing so, it's created an entire generation of entrepreneurs that are running on empty tanks, convinced themselves that emptiness is evidence of commitment, it's evidence of motivation, it's evidence of progress in their work. But the tragedy is that we've built a system that's fundamentally at odds with how human brains actually work. If we actually understood that pleasure is the foundation of productivity, we'd build different systems. We'd create space for ease. We'd protect our rest and we'd honor the work that actually lights people up. So, what does a business that is built around pleasure-based productivity actually look like? It means doing the work that actually lights you up instead of the work that you think you should do. If certain tasks drain you and certain tasks energize you, the question then becomes, how do you build your business around the work that energizes you? It means protecting rest as a legitimate part of productivity. It means making decisions based on what feels sustainable instead of what feels ambitious, what maybe the other people are doing in your field. Ambitious goals that don't feel pleasurable to work towards lead to burnout. Sustainable goals you actually enjoy working toward can grow. It means building in pleasure practices to your workday, not self-care add-ons, when I do all the things, then I could take my bubble bath or whatever. It is actual productivity tools, a walk that feels good, music that energizes you, breaks that actually restore you and aren't just, part of some Pomodoro timer thing of, okay, I got 5 minutes. I can have a sip of water now. Actually just means treating your nervous system regulation as a business necessity. And when you understand that a regulated nervous system produces better work, suddenly meditation, movement, rest, and pleasure practices become business tools. It means choosing work that aligns with your values and what actually matters to you. It means building a business that doesn't require you to sacrifice your health, sacrifice your relationships, or your sanity to succeed. A truly productive business is one that can sustain without destroying yourself in the process.